Are you looking for a new accountant? Well, I'm assuming you want them to be good, but how do you make sure that actually happens? My name is Rooshock, and today is all about telling you how to find the best accountant. And the answer is simple, pick me. Alright, but anyway, seriously, let's get into the video and I'll go through some of the key steps that you can take to ensure that your accountant is actually the best fit for you personally. My number one tip in this area is to have a basic level of understanding yourself. This will go a long way, and this holds true for really any kind of profession that you're looking to employ. Have an understanding of your own situation to a basic level that when you go and meet with someone, you can have an understanding of, do they actually know what they're talking about? Because you've already got that baseline. You're not expected to know everything, otherwise why would you be hiring a professional? But you want to have some knowledge so you're not going in completely blind. This will allow you to go into that initial meeting and ask questions. Asking questions is key to knowing whether someone actually knows what they're talking about. Now, when you ask these questions, you might go in and ask a few that you already know the answer to and seeing what they say. And then by asking that question, if they give the answer that matches what you know, then that's great. Maybe they even expand on it and teach you a few things. But if they give an answer that you know is completely wrong, it's going to raise a red flag straight away. Now, don't expect they're going to dive deep and give you heaps of advice, especially if you're not a paying client yet. But you want to understand, well, are they going to be able to help me in this situation? You know, are you a business owner that's wanting to know more about cash flow? And can they explain the benefits to maybe having a cash flow analysis? They're not going to sit there and do a full cash flow analysis for you, but can they really drive home why you would want to do that? You know, understanding that what is your problem and what is going to be their approach to helping with your problem. That's the whole reason for engaging a professional. You've got a problem, whether it's I need to get a tax return done or my business cash flow is hurting. You go to a professional and they look at your problem and go, hey, this is what I can offer. By understanding your basic situation, this is the type of approach or the further investigation they will need to be able to help fix your problem. A key part of meeting with any professional is, do you understand how they explain things? Unfortunately, I've sat in the room with people that are professionals and they've explained something to someone else and I've sat there the whole time going, they're not going to understand a word you're saying. You're using jargon, or you're just muddled. You're here, you're there, you're back here, or you've just brushed over the key points. They're going to walk out not understanding this at all. What you want to do is walk away from a meeting with a professional, an accountant, and understand it to the level you need to understand. My key role as an accountant is explaining things to the level the client needs to understand. I don't expect you to be fully educated like I am on accounting topics, but you need to understand how they apply to your situation. For example, if I'm doing a tax return for someone, I want them to at least walk away and go, they understand, are they getting a refund or do they have a payment owing, and maybe why that's the case. I don't need to explain, the ins and outs of all the tax rates and which offsets applied, etc. But I still need to be able to have them walk away feeling satisfied that they've walked away with more knowledge than what they come in. I have seen that before where people have explained things out and the person's walked out the door and known less than what they did when they come in. Now, before I jump into the next part of the video, my goal in 2023 for this YouTube channel is to hit 10,000 subscribers. So have you subscribed yet? Because if you haven't, go and hit that subscribe button and that will really help me get towards that goal. I appreciate this, and let's get back into the video. Unfortunately, some professionals have all the knowledge in the world, but they just can't portray that knowledge to the client in a way that makes sense. That's my number one goal as an accountant is, every meeting I want to make sure my client understood what I explained. Otherwise, what was the point of the meeting? So when you have a meeting with a new professional, a new accountant, make sure that when you walk away from that first meeting, you actually feel like you got something out of it. It was worth your time because they've explained something to you in a way that made sense to you. Now, you're not going to know if they're going to be the perfect accountant for you after one meeting. You want to have some idea that it's heading in the right track, but you're probably not going to know that. That's like any professional, is that, a first impression is good, but it doesn't necessarily go through the whole process. You haven't seen how they work on a day-to-day basis, how they're going to address more than just the initial problems you presented. But if you've got red flags after one meeting, it's probably a key sign that maybe that's not the right person for you. If you're already struggling to understand them, already concerned that their knowledge might not fit you, or maybe their fee structure just doesn't work for you, you really want to ask yourself, well, is it worth me pursuing this in the long term? That really leads into my final point is, don't be afraid to walk away. If you've engaged with an accountant for initial exploratory meeting and you just don't feel like it's the right fit, then let them know. Just say, hey, look, I don't think this is the right fit for me. Good luck, and walk away from it. And same as you'd hope your professional would do the same back. If they met with you and they're going, well, I don't think that really suits our clientele base. Maybe we don't have the knowledge in that area. Then maybe they should walk away. And I've had that before where clients have sent me a message and said, hey, can you help with this area? And I'll be honest and be like, hey, look, that's not my area of expertise. I really think you should probably find someone that specializes in it because it's a real specialist area. And that honesty both ways can make sure that you're not going down a relationship for multiple years with a professional that just isn't suited to either of you. The same goes if you're already working with your existing professional or with existing accountant. Don't be afraid to walk away from them. Switching accountants isn't as hard as what some people think it is. And if you're not happy with the service you're getting, you're either not getting the knowledge that you need, or it's not being explained to you well, or you feel like you're being ripped off fee-wise, then either speak to them or go and find a new professional that's going to be better suited to you. Now, if you are looking at growing your wealth and growing your business in 2023, the upcoming video will help with that. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you again on the next one.